Good evening. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. This is a meeting of the Darien Architectural Review Board. My name is Elizabeth Geiger. I am chairman. With me tonight, I have board members David Humphrey, Anya Janis, Kate Poselli, David Riley, Christina Hart, and Rebecca Morrison. Rebecca will be taking notes, and Anya Janis is our vice chair. We have technically 3 items on the agenda tonight, but I'd like to take a vote before we move forward and ask if we can add a 4th item to our agenda to get more accomplished. I don't know.
It's, so the application for Bankwell ARV 04-2025, PL 2513 was added to the agenda at the last minute because they were ready to be reviewed instead of waiting until February. But then we also have one item that canceled at the last minute. They were not ready for presentation, which is the first one on Good Goods Bespoke. So it's kind of a swap, but we were gonna have 3, we have 3, but.
Okay, change.
So if you wanted to.
Can I take a vote that all in favor of hearing the new agenda item?
Sure.
Anyone opposed? Okay, great. So going in, they're all new business, so we will skip over then ARB 01-2025, the first item 2025 for Good Goods. That will go on to our February agenda. You will be leading, and we'll go to ARB number 2, 2025, which is at 144 Heights Road for Spear. Yeah, have one up. So, welcome. What you do, you just introduce yourself and your role in relation to the project, and just a quick, we're all familiar with the plans, just a quick summary of what you're doing.
Yeah, so my name's Thomas Diorio. I work for the architecture firm that did the design drawings for the build-out.
Thomas, can you spell your last name for me?
Yeah, it's D as in David, I-O-R-I-O.
Okay.
And I'm here on behalf of Kevin Kane tonight. He's preoccupied with some family business, so we're here for the application for an exterior sign at the front facade of the space. It is a sign directly above the door, and then a blade sign off to the right.
We can see this, but do you want to recap the signs made of, and material, color, size?
Yeah, so the first sign is a 1/2-inch plexiglass push-through. It's 2 colors. The red, we'll call it an S symbol, is carmine red. I have physical samples if you guys would like to see that, but the color code is PMS 179. And then the lettering spelling Spear is same material but a different color that we denote as aubergine, and it's PMS 7449. And the blade sign will be made, you can't see it in this view because it's looking at us, but it's of the same material, and the blade sign would be non-illuminated.
1'9" by 11.5"
Okay.
blade sign.
Yes. Yes, and the blade sign matches what Salt and Sweat has on site today as a contextual reference.
Is it illuminated the same way?
That's not illuminated.
No.
The sign that will go above the entry door, I think if you go one up, yeah. This one is, if you could just go to that page, perfect. Yeah, this one's illuminated, and then if you scroll down a little more, you can see just a little bit more, so we can see the section.
There's a section.
Yeah. Perfect, yep. Yeah, so it's, I think it comes out to about 1.5 inches deep total between the light box and the letters.
So what is the illumination? It's illuminating this entire plate? Is that what?
Just the lettering.
Just the lettering that are cut
Like
out?
halo lit or
No, so,
edge, on the edge or?
yeah, so it's the lettering, and then it's almost like a box.
So
I have it's not quite the same, because this isn't as, what we're proposing here isn't as deep, but I do have like one that we did recently at another
Oh,
location.
yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah, so these letters stick out more, but it's the same concept.
So the letter stick, it's got some thickness, and the light comes on the side of the letter, right?
Correct, yeah.
So it kind of.
It is like a halo light.
It floats, it's halo light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yellow light. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Because
doing.
illuminated signs are not
Yeah,
allowed in
perfect,
there.
Yeah, yeah.
So directly illumination, so just halo or backlit, but
Mhm.
not.
Well, it would seem like Kevin would know that very
Yeah, I still keep it on top of that. Okay. And then I know there was a signage inside that we were
So-
looking at when you scroll down.
Right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the window
Mhm.
coverings, and then
Oh, yeah,
eventually the sign at the reception, which is this one.
Mhm.
So that's a nice rendering of what
that's
this
great.
would feel like. All right, so tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so this is pretty standard for us that we do in the city. It's really about protection for construction, you know, keeping it opaque while giving Spirit opportunity to advertise that they'll be coming. It's just vinyl window coverings. It's only up during the construction build-out, which we would anticipate to be about 12 weeks. So, you know, we're actually have our permits as of last week, so we're looking to start on the 27th. So it would be up through February, March, and part of April. And then it comes down in the last week and is replaced with the permanent signage, which is, you know, vinyl clear through the windows, but you know, similar to what's on the front door with like the address and like phone number.
So
Okay.
if you can clarify this, so these here look like the construction period. So so that's
Those
not
are
a blow
all.
up, but it's the same idea. But
Yeah.
then this is really the door showing black because of the see-through glass with some lettering on top of it as a decal, as well as this message and this message. Am I correct?
The two things on the three, the windows that are divided into three, those are also vinyl. Those are images of a sphere that's open in New York City. So these are also opaque images. So you're not seeing through to the construction. Everything is blocking the windows.
My question to you is,
What's
one is
temporary?
doing construction and one is permanent.
This is all temporary.
They're all
All
temporary.
of them
Yeah,
are
yeah, this
temporary.
is just a temporary image.
Okay, so what is gonna replace permanently what is the decal gonna look like when it's done? Is there nothing?
There should be, I wonder if you didn't submit it as part of it.
Oh, no, it's up there.
No, like it's a different image that we would normally do.
Yes, with the address and the phone number
What page is that? It's,
and the nation's top physical therapy practice.
I think it's higher, Hervé, if you go higher in the presentation.
Top
Maybe
slide.
the different file.
Oh, yes.
There.
This one,
Yes,
okay.
this is permanent.
Okay, this is
Okay.
the
Yeah.
permanent.
That's right.
And then you have here, name the nation's top physical therapy practice twice.
Mhm.
That's interesting. Twice?
I think it comes to the marketing.
Germany, Denmark. It's like echo. Okay, so that's gonna be like written on the glass or?
It's vinyl, so
It's
it's
a vinyl,
a
okay.
sticker, yeah. Same for front door and then the logo off to the right.
Were you the one who said the vinyl would be on the outside of the window? Was that you or was that the
It's,
other
it's
applicant?
on the interior as we.
Okay, so you guys are inside. Somebody was telling me
Yeah.
applied on the outside, which I'm not sure is such a great idea.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
Somebody else, okay.
It could have been us, we normally do the exterior on the outside, but if you want it applied on the inside, we can do that as well. We've done it both ways in the city.
Much preferred.
Yeah, we were concerned about the wear on the outside for an extended period of, 12 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, we can absolutely install it from the inside.
Okay,
Okay, good.
okay.
So this is cool. Was there any other
The
question?
last, sorry, there's an interior sign
Oh,
that
yes.
to confirm that was not illuminated.
Which is actually, it's interesting because for the anecdote, the tenant fit-out permit came to me
Yes.
first. And as I'm approving it, I'm seeing this, I'm going, whoa, wait a minute. That's definitely signage. Is it within 3 feet of the exterior window? Yes, because that's the exterior window. You know, it says equal, roughly at scale, that's about 3 feet. So therefore, it has an impact on visual.
Mhm.
And then I started asking you guys and
Yeah.
the firm, if you're ready to do the signage for the outside, you may as well just wrap everything in once
Mhm.
and have this dealt with. So the way I understand this from, I don't know if the section made it in there, it's a wood.
Yeah.
It's not, it's on the latest drawing that Kevin sent me, but this is a wood panel with just the letter applied, no illumination, just kind of the groove of the wood, right? I'm sorry, I should
No, no,
you
it's
should- the
fine,
one-
it's fine,
you
you're
should
doing a great
describe it,
job.
but, I mean, here, on
Yeah.
that side, he sent me a
Yeah.
drawing, but
So-
I don't think it made it, or maybe it's in the next file.
So if I just jump in
Probably
really
in the
quick,
last- the last
it's
one.
a piece of millwork with vinyl laid on top. It's flat, like you said, it's not illuminated. The only thing illuminating it is wall washer recessed lights that are on a gimbal.
Right,
So
it's-
we'll angle the lights on it, and all the lighting, including the exterior signage, is all tied into a time clock. So everything will go out once beer closes for the day.
Mm,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
I don't have anything further. I did ask if there was any shading device, because this is a physical therapy place where you get massage and stuff. Though they have lockers and the layout of the space is here. But I was told that there was no need for anything, because it's kind of a tight squeeze here, and you have changing rooms
Mm,
off of that. This
Mhm.
one is a changing room, which
Yep.
looks like it's handicapped. So people change in there, put their stuff in the locker and go. These are all like treatment tables along here
Correct.
on another plan.
Yep.
So I was wondering if they would have beautiful shades like these, and the answer was no. So that was not part of, because part of the window treatment is something that we also, since they don't have places with too many shades, we have a couple in Darien Commons, is something that, are they gonna be red shade or whatever? it
Yeah.
is. So the answer, there's nothing in the windows.
I like that it's open.
Totally see-through.
yeah, I like that. So it's not like a dead building that when you walk by.
Right.
Okay. It's a very thorough presentation. Thank you for doing that. Or thank Kevin. Looks like no comments?
No
All right.
exceptions.
So no exceptions, favorable report as presented.
Great.
So I'll get you a letter and I'll get Kevin a letter.
Yep.
Do you want me to copy you on it, physical letter? or-
I'll coordinate with him, because
Okay.
we gotta talk about install dates and stuff like that.
Okay.
You can take your snowshoes and go back to the city.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
Yes.
Did we really talk
Thank
about
you for
the
coming.
time?
We did talk about the blades, I think it was he's not illuminated, he was size 11, 1.9, 1 foot 9 inches by
Right,
11
and
inches.
it's on both sides, you're coming and going.
Mhm. Yep.
I've heard
Yeah,
this.
and if you wanna see a photo, if you're unfamiliar with what Salt and Sweat has right now. I mean, I think
Yeah, sure.
Kevin did a render,
Yeah.
As well, where he
Yeah.
marked it up.
That's fine.
But
That's
it's,
good catch with the location too, like the
Yeah.
placement of the blade sign.
yeah, it's exactly where Salt and Sweat has theirs right now, so we're just kind of taking it over.
Okay, oh great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Salt and sweat.
So it's all sweat leave on it? Is it
Apparently.
come?
I don't think they ever actually.
And then, okay,
Oh, really?
huh, alright,
Okay.
I'm excited about that. Okay, moving on, our second agenda item is ARB number 3, 2025. This is at 1031 Boston Post Road for Zucchero Restaurant. I believe that's the old location of the Sugar Bowl for the context. And the Charlie's.
Yeah, that was like open close.
Yeah. Bummer. Hi.
Hi, I'm Ashley Andrews. I am representing Zucchero. If you go to the bulk plan set, that has everything. They are proposing stud-mounted black acrylic letters, 2 signs. And then they want to recover the awnings with black and tan stripes. And then it would say, what is it, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I think it says on the awnings.
Sorry, just a little slow.
So the size of the lettering,
Yeah.
a little concerned about. And is that within the, sign code, is that meet the
20
the
inches.
criteria? Okay.
Pedestrian zone is 20 inches max. So, but the ARB, as per ARB decision, can be overruled.
I think it's too big.
Well, do you know how thick those letters are?
I believe they're 1/2 inch thick.
Okay. So they are a little more delicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still too big.
So the 28 that is shown there is an overall from the tip of the H to the bottom of the Z. So if you wanted to nitpick a little bit, you could say that maybe the maximum would be any given letter, like the Z itself or the H from bottom to top, and that would be the 20-inch max you could put on that.
I'm looking at the Boston Post Road facade,
Mhm.
and the H is like right at the corner of
That's
that
too
window.
close, yeah.
It seems like it's competing with the rest of the facade. And I'm not saying that it needs to be much smaller, but it just seems like there needs to be a little bit more breathing room between
Right there.
it
Oh.
and
Yeah.
the other, the fenestration on the front.
That would be great.
You know, I can see that centering it over the awning, you know, makes sense. And the other place I probably would have put it is like over the door, but then it would have been much smaller.
Mhm.
So I don't know, maybe like a 10% reduction on the size, you know, just, so if it's 28 inches, make it down to like 26 or 25 and a half.
Is that the only font that they've tried?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because I would agree with whoever said it, maybe it was Dave, that it's really thin, so it's not, to me, it's not even reading that clear, just because I like the script, but I think that it's such a thin script that that's one of the reasons they had to go tall,
Yeah, that's a
is
good point.
because the script is so thin, but if they tried a different script, like it could still be, you know, that cursive-y look, but it had a wider presence, then they could decrease the height. But right now, that script isn't even reading well at that height.
Also, the
because it's
word
just too-
cafe underneath it is, you don't even really see that. Is
It's
that-
just too delicate. It's fighting against the brick.
Mm.
Okay.
It's really pretty, but it's
Mhm.
just not.
It's the kind of lettering
It's
that
too
needs a
delicate.
backing, I
Yeah.
guess, like you say, the brick it's too busy, you know, the brick is a busy pattern, texture.
Okay.
I like the awning, and I like the design where they're going with it. I
Mhm.
think it's just either gonna be smaller and
There's there's so many scripts out there. Just
Mhm.
play with it and see if you can get one that's a little bit, has a wider
Great.
presence.
Does that sound okay, Ashley?
Yeah.
So they can reduce the size a teeny bit, heavier weight. Are you guys okay with the description on the awning?
Again, is that acceptable from, it's not,
We could make an exception, we usually don't, I mean, it might be fitting in this case for the
Yeah.
type of, it kind of works for, it's a kind of old school,
it's like a
there?
Yeah, it
scroll,
looks
yeah,
cute.
it's like a
Mhm.
scroll zone across.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I think the type of letters on the awning is almost the same as cafe, but
Mhm.
maybe stretched slightly differently. So I think I agree with the comments, is that there's a lot of different styles, so
maybe, right, sort of mirror those two scripts.
Maybe,
Yeah,
yeah.
cafe should be.
stretch it
missing
a little, I
stretches
don't know.
though.
So you're proposing an awning on the side also?
Yeah, the awning is there, they're just recovering them. The awnings are all existing.
There were some existing shots as part of
Just-
this.
Yeah,
It's
that's,
down a little
that's the
bit.
side view.
No, there's one more,
Oh,
if
there's
you go
another.
down the little awning.
I don't know if you need to squeeze breakfast, lunch in there on the little.
Right there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Not to do that?
Yeah,
Because both of those are on the same facade, I know they're separated, but.
that's repetitive.
Sorry, the computer is
Yeah,
not
that's
happy with the
okay.
graphics. It's a lot of memory to move around. It's like, me. You hear it go,
Not the side?
whatever that is.
Yeah, on the side and it's like really
I mean, even if you, I'm just saying on the little one, I certainly don't think breakfast, lunch and dinner needs to go on the little one.
There's gonna be
There's
two
two on
small.
the side.
So take it off the small awning,
Mhm.
okay.
And then the big one.
I think it's cute. Okay, so the feedback is consider an alternate font for the pin mounted wall sign. Makes it a little heavier so you can reduce the size a bit to give a little breathing room between the fenestration above and beyond, above and below. And then also consider having the description font on the awning the same as cafe on the wall.
Okay.
And then removing the descriptions from the awning of the small awning.
Okay.
Did I recap it all? Is that good?
Yeah.
It's 3 things? Okay. Anything else, Dave? Comfortable, Mr. Ridley?
So is that a PDF? Is that a PDF or redo?
Did you have anything before we do? Did you have anything else you said?
No, if possible, it'd be good to see, like the actual signage. We can do it, but on like the Google Street View, where we see it next to the other.
I did add photos of the existing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, at least for us, if we look at it in context with the other signage,
And then there's the
Okay.
side.
it will be bigger, I mean, it's a bigger building than the other ones, so I guess it is somewhat proportionate. I think Reeves is bigger, because that's a bigger storefront.
So Ashley, could you, so it would be a new PDF, Hervé, but Ashley, could you send us a PDF that shows, go up Hervé, that shows the view, up one more, like your street view, maybe use, that image as a mock-up, as a version?
Possible.
Just something like that, so we can kind of see those, the building, the white building adjacent to it?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would give us context for the size that you choose of the,
I don't wanna be a mean architect, but, the rendering for this has a big difference in terms of perception from this street view, in terms of the brick and the joints. You get a lot, this gets a lot busier looking than this, maybe it's because of the distance, but is that from the real building, that because it looks, first of all, it looks a lot lighter. This color brick doesn't match this color brick, but is it a rendering thing, or is this just,
Well, this
I'm trying to
small
say,
one-
is that when, you guys were saying that the background is very busy, and I think it's even busier when this is this version with this
Yeah,
much.
as you scroll down,
it won't be able.
the brick
It's
behind the
different
small
colors.
awning is different than.
Yeah, it's
Right, and you get
lighter.
like a lot of,
It does change that, yeah.
it's changed the perception, so.
Yeah.
That's a photo montage, right? Like pictures that are cut and spliced, is that correct?
No, that's
from
building.
Google
No,
Maps.
that's
Oh, that's the Google
That's the
splicing.
building.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe you can take a good picture, you yourself can take a good picture and then put the rendering on top of it. That would be better than the Google thing,
Okay.
I think. It's worth it.
I think the
You think the
rendering,
upstairs is more, the above drawing is closer?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very different color.
So Ashley, I'll have you submit it as a PDF review, and Hervé can send it to the board, just as if there's any flags or anyone has comments on the board, we'll bring you back, otherwise it could just be an administrative approval from
Okay.
Hervé, so you wouldn't have to come back in February.
Okay.
So, maybe include more than less, so there's no questions, and
Yep.
then that would probably help
Okay.
to help to return.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
Great,
you.
thank you, Ashley.
that's great, thank you so much. All right, then our third and final agenda tonight is ARB number 4, which is Bankwell at 1063 Boston Post Road. This is the item that we voted at the beginning of our meeting to add to the agenda.
Good evening, everyone. Brian DeSanti from ABC Signs, representing Bankwell. Thank you for getting us on the agenda so quickly. We expected to be on in February because we just filed the other day. But thank you very much. Boy, I was here in 2014 presenting Bankwell at the time.
I remember,
And
we remember. We were there.
I always remember the room being upstairs.
It was upstairs, we finally shifted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is much bigger. I remember we were like sardines in
I
that room.
know.
And I believe Panera Bread was in there
Yeah,
when Bankwell moved in.
yeah, I
So,
missed that place.
yeah, so we are basically submitting the same thing that's up there. Bankwell's going through a rebranding of their 8 branches, so they've changed their logo and their font style. So they are going again with 1/2-inch thick painted acrylic letters, blind stud mounted, projected slightly, 1/4-inch spacers off the wall for the front. So you'd be taking down the current sign, patching and painting, which will be fun in the wintertime, and installing these new set of letters. And based on how their logo is, in proportion with their logo and branding, the actual square footage is actually a little bit less than what the current square footage is. So that is the front. So if there's any questions about what we're doing in the front there. Currently, no vinyl, glass vinyl. The only thing is there may be branch towers on that will remain on the front. Now on the back, again, doing the same thing except it's on a background pan sign. Same 1/4 inch thick painted letters, stud mounted on a 1 inch deep pan sign. You can see current and then proposed.
What is this zone here? So Raccoon Deposit?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Exactly.
think that's the dumpster.
yeah.
That's what
Raccoons
I'm
are
saying.
upstairs, yeah.
It's the Raccoon ATM.
Yeah.
Okay, so, is there no other location than this piece of wall here about the dumpster?
That's about it because they're very limited. There's a lot of obstructions to the left and to the right.
And all sorts of, windows and,
Right.
and louvers and whatnot.
And if you go a little bit further to the left, you're in the other tenant space.
Okay, all right, so that's your limitation.
Mhm.
Okay, I was just curious. Because I saw that was.
And I do have color samples, except that on my way in the parking lot, if anyone finds it, I lost one of the samples.
Oh, okay.
In the
But it's basically forest green. It's a forest green Pantone 3308. This is a Pantone 5585. They call that in their branding book Sage. It's a Sage. And then that's a Benjamin Moore color. It's a light beige.
Okay.
And that's really about it.
That's great.
So you had another file in there. I was not sure when I opened it up. That was.
Oh,
that was
that is,
loaded up.
oh, that's another, by mistake, he downloaded that. That's their Hamden location.
This is
That's in Hamden.
nothing to do with this.
That's-
Okay,
We're not reviewing this.
Yeah, so,
Nope.
if you wanna pass it, I don't have to bother sending it.
that's great. Okay,
Okay.
Mr. DeSanti, that's a favorable report, so I'll get you a
Thank you.
letter
Yep,
and you
thank you.
can proceed.
I do have one question unrelated to this that I learned tonight from the first presenter, with Sperry. I was always under the impression that in Darien, exterior signage cannot be internally illuminated, just externally by gooseneck or fixtures, and he proposed a push-through backlit that's a halo, like a halo illumination. That is allowed, Darien?
It's always allowed, but you're asking if it's allowed from the inside, right?
No, he's asking.
No, I'm saying
Just
about
for that.
exterior.
Oh,
not
yeah,
just-
no, yeah.
You do? Alright, I
Yeah,
was always under the impression, no illumination, because I had a,
Along the post road, we have not, I can't think of an instance where we've approved that, though.
Okay.
Those are all within
okay.
shopping departments, right? So the place we do
Great.
that's all in Darien Commons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only place we don't have it any other. I think it might just be Darien Commons.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's okay. Was Spear Darien Commons?
Yeah,
Okay. that's-
yeah, it's pedestrian facing,
That's why,
not
okay,
not
that-
road.
So then I was right, because,
Yeah, I don't know if it's not technically allowed, I'm not
yeah.
it might
I
not,
think it's in the zoning
The
regulations.
Yeah,
zoning
maybe it's not.
regulation says no illuminated sign.
Right.
So it does say it's prohibited,
Mhm.
but the halo lit and the backlit like this are not considered direct illumination,
Mhm.
so I
Right.
think that's been the.
Yeah, I know there's
You can
never,
go
they don't
in.
want face illumination,
Yeah.
like a channel letter or a
Well, we had
box
some
sign.
that tried, Solid Core was one of them that. I've
Yeah.
seen actually the Westport Solid Core, when it's right next to Trader Joe's, they have an illuminated sign. It's like really strong,
Yeah.
just right in your face.
in your
The only
face.
one I remember, this going back several years ago, was at Good Wife Shopping Center, Grand Union was there. Grand
Oh,
Union Shop,
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole, that going back 30 years, and that was like the only illuminated sign in Darien.
Yeah, I think they came back for rebranding and
Yeah.
proposed something similar, and we said,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
By the way, Mr. Sandy, while you're here, are you keeping the blue awnings? At one point you added those, and they seem like they float. I don't understand them.
I don't
Can they be
think-
removed?
You know what, I don't think,
I think there was one on the side
yeah, there was one, yep, there was one on the side, yeah,
facing the
that's,
Cafe Nero, and there's one there, and
yeah,
they,
yep.
you guys originally proposed it in like for your entrance doors, but now they have no connection, and they're like the wrong
Right.
color.
I think they were proposed at one time, they were also proposed on the side.
Yeah, there's
that they
one over
didn't
there.
do. and thinking about over here too, but it wasn't going to work. But that awning is, I believe it's still there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. I mean, I wanna make a request to move the awning. It looks bad. I don't know, it looks floating, that's just my
Yeah.
opinion, since you guys are here
Yeah.
and you're rebranding.
Yeah, I could talk to them about either removing it or maybe, or even at least changing the color. Because the blue was a blue in the old bluish of the Bankwell logo that's currently there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, the one on the side, I could even argue you could keep that for functionality, but the one on the front is just such an interruption to the fenestration. It doesn't, there's no rhythm to it, and it,
There's probably another curve right above there.
And that's the actual, to the right where the awning is, that's where you enter into the bank. And that's where the ATM is. This is non-entrance right
But
there.
it probably repeats the same motif. I can
Yeah.
almost guess the start of
Yeah.
the curved brick here, right?
Dave pulled it up on Google image and got it.
Right, but you can easily direct people to the front door, what with the potted plants, that you have over here. Keep one in front of the door and then the other go on each side, and then anyway, okay.
I think they also put it there to like rain, weather, snow, whatever. It gives you a little bit of protection going into the door.
I mean, it projects like a foot, so it's not really serving that purpose.
I think it's probably just to mark the front door.
I think it's more to mark the front door too.
Why isn't the sign above that, if that's the building?
I think we argued about, Dave, can you pull up the whole building, can you show us what that looks like? Cause I think we talked about this, it looked, the way the building was architecturally designed, we talked about.
That and the prior Panera Bread was there too, and there was a fixture also in place.
I was using the existing fixture on the sign.
Well, then there's the column there, right, so then it broke it, and then there wasn't enough. It's like a shared building, yeah, because yeah,
There's one over here,
There's
so
an old
Mhm.
sign up there, whatever it used to say.
it just balanced it.
Okay.
If no one's opposed, I'm gonna put a request to remove the old blue awning over the front entrance door. You can leave the one along the side entrance. Is that okay?
just ask for a proposal for some other way to mark the front door.
Okay.
It's a bit confusing.
Yes, the signage approved.
Okay. Signage approved, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, I'll put that in a letter, another way to mark the front door if needed. All right, we have no old business, but we would love, Hervé, if you can do a quick review, administrative approval certificates.
Yes, actually, this time, if I can just get to it.
So these would be projects that we had recommendations on, and they sent final PDFs to Hervé to approve administratively.
So, for, wow.
So I love that.
Oh, that's
Sad
sad.
face.
Not
That's
very
angry.
sad
Total
face.
sad face. Oh, Kevin.
Christina go, oh, that's a sad face.
That was not a successful software manipulation. So, after, this is a good example, the one that was facade treatment for superfood. Seriously? Not happy. So anyway, you saw it briefly. Where did we go?
I know.
I don't know. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can open the other.
Just preview.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the Magnolia and the Word document, it's maybe better. Nope.
Try
Okay.
preview, because that doesn't go through after that.
No, it's here,
On
preview,
the PDF, or that.
preview.
No?
I'm gonna do this at face, all right.
Angry.
So, these were a good example that there's no download of how the administrative certificate or structured. I usually take what was said at the meeting, what Liz puts in the comments in the planning intake review, kind of merge the two and then just kind of write what is needed for the PDF and then what people propose. And then at the end of the certificate, it says this is the consensus that's been reached by the ARB for, you know, the approval of this signage, whatever it is. And then I do send it to Liz to make sure that she's okay with what's in there, so she has one last look at it. And then it becomes the official document that they can load up in the building in the building department for their permit. I'm sorry that didn't wanna load up, I don't know why, but that was the intent, to show you what it looked like. So I take all the graphics and looks pretty official and nice.
It's a great review. So you passed through Magnolia, finally passed through.
Magnolia
That's in Darien
and
Commons.
Superfood for the paint of the building, because what we did is
The
we,
green one,
the
yeah,
signage, they did not propose
signage, yeah,
signage yet, so the signage is still pending,
okay.
which is one of the reasons we found, Greer and I kind of regularly go and clean up, you know, file that or missing things, and we found that Magnolia actually never got a certificate, even though they built it, so also allowed me to tell them, hey, you need that certificate to file for your building permit, which you didn't get before doing your signs. So they did an after-the-fact building permit, and they're fine. I mean, they're just, you know, they're doing what they were told to do. But there's always a little bit of misunderstanding, what is that certificate? It's not a permit, it's a certificate saying, you're good to go, now you need to file for zoning permit, building permit, and pay the fees. Always pay the fees.
Most
You
important.
cross the bridge, you
Yeah.
pay, you give a coin. So
Awesome.
that's what it is.
And then Superfoods, they're approved for their painting, for their neon
Right, so they
painting,
were
but no
finalized for the
signage,
painting, but they didn't do the signage, so.
Okay, so we'll
we
see them
can't-
again.
Right, we'll have to see them again.
if they come.
They're a little behind, I don't know exactly what's going on with Superfood, if there's some financial
Hanging out
issues or
there.
something.
Yeah.
They haven't progressed very much in their installation. They got their permits to do the installation inside, but I
Okay.
haven't seen, you know, CO process, inspection, all that. It's kind of,
I think they're just working on the location. I know the guy who owns it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're working on something else?
Yeah, he owns Green and Tonic.
Ah,
too.
oh,
They're
I see.
opening a place in Stanford. That's-
Okay.
They're working on it.
Mhm.
So are they still doing that one? Is that,
Yeah,
do you think?
I forget what he said about it, but yeah, I think it was just they were opening another spot and just not really too worried about it. Because they won the building.
okay.
That's it.
All right, last agenda is December minutes. I reviewed them. I thought they were great. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, so those are approved. I'll sign those. We can post those up.
37
Um,
minutes.
If there is no other business to discuss, it is 7:38
Oh,
PM.
jeez, 38 minutes.
We will adjourn.